when we pay obeisance, अपने गुरुओं के सामने हम नतमस्तक होते हैं। जिन लोगों ने हमारे जीवन पे एक अमिट छाप छोड़ी, those that have in many ways deeply impacted our lives. Today is a day of remembrance, a day of thanks to all of those people. Not only our mother, our father, our family members, but many people who have even impacted us more than our own family members. Today is a day of remembering and thanking them on Guru Purnima. Today is also a very emotional moment for me. An emotional moment because I share a very deep personal relationship with all of you. For my father, when he was railway minister, and I was a child, members of his railway ministry were not his ministry officials. They were members of his family. From the loco driver to the signalling man to the computer operator to members of the railway board. And for me in my life, my first charge as a Jana Sevak was of the Ministry of Telecom and Posts. Way back in 2007, don't ask me how old I was then, because then I'll tell you my age and that's not what I want to do. And that very same feeling that my father and the Scindia family have always had towards the Rail Parivar, I have always felt towards my Dak Parivar. I remember very deeply engaging with all my Gramin Dak Sevaks at that point of time. There was a desire to reform the department, transform the department, make it customer facing. But to be able to do that, it was important to be able to infuse that passion, that lalak, into every single member of my family. And if that passion has to be infused into every single member of my family, it was also important to hear and understand like we did today. Nagaraja ji and what is the name of the lady? What is the name of the lady who spoke? Renuka ji. Where is name Renuka ji and Nagaraja ji? Nagaraja ji is there. Renuka ji? No, Manjula. To be able to hear their voices. Because it is your voice that matters. Because at the end of the day, if we infuse that passion in you after hearing you out, then your task no longer remains a job. Your task then becomes a responsibility towards those that you think are your family. And your family, just like you are my family, your family become your customers. And so, 18 years ago, very much like this, we held a Gramin Sammelan in Madhya Pradesh, in Belchha, and in Rajasthan, where I had 3,000 to 4,000 Gramin Sevaks, with whom I spent a couple of hours. And just like today, we heard a number of them, their passion, their motivation, their issues. And it's only when you feel that we are there for you, will you go into the field with that same feeling for your customers that you are there for them. And many things were discussed. In those days, the issues that came up was our Gramin Sevak didn't have a stationery allowance, didn't have an umbrella allowance, didn't have a juta allowance. Now these things may seem very small, but in rural India, these are very, very big things in order to be able to do your service in the best possible manner. And straight after that meeting, we instituted these allowances for all our Gramin Sevaks. One of the big things that came up, we are extra departmental service employees. सरकारी कर्मचारियों के बच्चों को तो केंद्र विद्यालय में प्रवेश मिल जाता है. Their children get admission into KV, government employees. But our children don't get admission into Kendra Vidyalaya. So I remember those days I went once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times to the then HRD minister, because Kendra Vidyalaya comes under Human Resource Ministry. And I pleaded with him with folded hands. I begged him. I fought with him. I pushed him. But I made sure that we changed by gazette notification the rules of Kendra Vidyalaya to allow children of my Gramin Parivar Dak Sevak to get admission to Kendriya Vidyalaya. And I think that rule still continues now. I remember all of you didn't have proper satchels, didn't have a uniform. So I got Piyush Pandey of Ogilvy and Mather, and we designed uniforms for our Gramin Dak Sevaks. We designed that red bag, which I don't know, still many of you may be carrying, with the yellow insignia of India Post. And I myself went from village to village, calling the Gramin Dak Sevak on the dais, putting on the new satchel, the new uniform, and the new vest. I remember we designed a red vest. A red vest and a satchel for every Gramin Dak Sevak across the length and breadth of the country. So there was a sense. Why was that done? There was a sense that the department, and as the head of the department, जैसे परिवार में मुखिया होता है, we were there for you. And if we are there for you, then we expect you to be there for your customers. In those days, I remember some of you may have not been born, because on the dais today we got a Gramin Dak Sevak. I asked him, what's your age? He said 19. Where's that young man who came on the dais? So he was only 1 year old. We redesigned this logo. Earlier it used to be like a Vitesse sign, like a crow. We sat and redesigned the logo. We came up with Project Arrow, where we looked at 1,000 post offices across the country, which we monitored in terms of key performance metrics. And I used to monitor that screen myself on a daily basis. We redesigned the look and feel of those post offices. Earlier it was as if we were working in a back-end store. We redesigned all the desks, we redesigned all the printers, the laptops. I put in place information kiosk. And so we gave a new modern edge to our department. And that was the time when we designed this logo. No one understands the importance of what you do. Because my Gramin Dak Sevak does not do a job. My Gramin Dak Sevak transmits, carries emotion from one human being to another human being in form of the letter. And you cannot put a monetary value on that. चिट्ठी आई है और मुझे याद है, when I was in boarding school, we used to get that 20 पैसे का Indian letter card and to write to my parents. And after lunch in boarding school, we used to wait outside the dining hall, because that's when the letters used to get distributed. Those days, we didn't have this. And therefore, the written word would carry emotion from one heart to the other heart. And that's the job you do. My salutations and my salute to all of you. today we are powering ahead in India. And you are a very important part of that journey. An important part of that journey because you don't carry only letters in your bag. You carry emotions of people. You carry trust in your hands. And today, in any village, there are two people that every village can count on. Even today, where every family trusts those two people. One is your kotwar or your village security man. And the second is my village dakia. You need to give a louder round of applause for yourself. Why? Because the dakia knows the husband's name. The dakia knows the wife's name. The dakia knows the nana and nani's name. The dakia knows where the children are studying. एक तरीके से तो मेरा डाकिया ज्योतिष है, बिकॉज सबकी कुंडली मेरे डाकिया के हाथ में है. So if there is trust apart from family or anyone, that trust is with my dakiya. Now that is a feeling that cannot be bought. That is a treasure which is beyond comparison. And that is why we coined the phrase कि डाक सेवा मतलब जन सेवा. But today my dakia is not only a purveyor of mails. पुरानी कहावत थी डाकिया डाक लाया. आज डाकिया बैंक भी लाया. The awards we gave today, someone for POSD, someone for PNI, someone for RPNI, someone for citizen-centric services. Let me tell you, there is no other distribution channel, and hear me clearly on this. There is no other distribution channel, not in India. There is no other distribution channel in the world that is as wide and as deep as India Post. 1.64 lakh points of presence from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Bharuch to Tawang. If there is any outpost in India, it is my post office. And therefore, my family members, I want our post offices to become, and hear me clearly on this, I want our post offices to become the window to the world for the common man. Anything and everything that a citizen in our country needs, requires, wants, must be in our post office. You go to the mall in Mangaluru, na? From fast food to clothes to medicines to shoes to anything you want to buy. Each one of my post offices in my village should become a small little mall for the village where everything can be bought virtually. Now, in order for that transformation to happen, you want that transformation? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. I still cannot hear you. I'm getting a loud yes sir from the balcony, but the front rows here are quiet. I don't think they want it. You want them to want it? Okay, can I hear you? Can I hear you? Now that has to happen. In modern times, we need to change the way we work. And therefore, no one needs to monitor us. We need to monitor. I can't hear you. Where's the juice? That's right. We need to monitor ourselves. And therefore, yes, we are bringing IT 2.0 and we're doing this and we're getting the handheld devices and we're getting Darpan and we're doing this and we're doing that. But all of these are only tools. The functionality, the vivacity, the output, the delta, the change has to be brought by each one of us, not from here. Today we have the capability of becoming the largest logistics organization in the world. No one has this pipe and no one has the human resource to be able to service this pipe apart from us. But we've got to make sure that we are at the cutting edge, which means we need to innovate. We need to think about productivity. We need to think about lifetime service for our customers. And what Nagaraja ji, his customers will want will be very different from Manjula ji, right? From Manjula ji, which will be very different from young man, what's your name?
Raju.
Rajiv. Sajid. Will be very different from Sajid's customers. So individualization, personalization is the key to success. And I guarantee you that we want to give you that autonomy and that freedom to be able to function. I do not believe that innovation must come top down. Innovation must come bottom up. And I met about 50, 60 postal assistants and sorting assistants in Delhi last week. And I cannot tell you, the suggestions that they came up with were world class. And let me tell them through you and through this meeting, the suggestions that they have come up with have not been noted and kept in the file somewhere. They've gone onto my dashboard. And I will not stop until I implement their suggestions. The devil, my family members, lies always in the details. We have to cross the T's, dot the I's. We have to introduce new products to our customers. So for example, we are now starting to work for mutual fund companies, doing their KYC norms for them. We've got to be able to calculate the cost structure for each transaction that we do. And the revenue that we get has to be greater than our cost structure. We've got to be a customer-centric organization. And that will only come when my family members, each and every one of them, 274,000 of my family members, all work with the same dedication, passion and zeal. And therefore, my request to you today is that we have the capability of becoming the #1 service-oriented organization in the world. We are going to reform, as Prime Minister says, we are going to transform, and we are going to perform. And for the first time, the budget statement of the Finance Minister talked about India Post. We are going to make sure that we transform our post offices. We are going to become service-driven. And we are going to ensure that we transform ourselves from a cost center for the Government of India into a profit center for the Government of India. We've now organized the department into 6 verticals. Mail, international mail, parcel, POSB, RPI, PLI, citizen-centric services. 4 horizontals. Finance, admin, HR, IT. For the first time in the history of India Post, we've hired a chief technology officer. We've got 6 vice CTOs working under each vertical. We're going to get a healthy amount of capex to transform our post offices. IT 2.2 is going to get executed. My team from headquarters has gone to Germany, to DHL, we've gone to La Poste in France, we've gone to Japan Post, we've gone to Royal Mail, we've gone to USPS to see how they perform and how we can perform better than them. We're going to automate some of our sorting hubs. We're going to bring technology to help all of you. But again, technology is only an enabler. We need to have that fire in our hearts and the fire in our belly, that we will take the flag of India Post, उस झंडे को हम विश्व पटल पर गाड़ के रखेंगे, ये संकल्प के साथ हमें आगे बढ़ना है. So today, where on the one hand I want to thank you all for your commitment, your service. On the other hand, I want to urge you all, we have a long way to go. But I am confident that with our capability and our dint of hard work, we will transform this landscape in the service of our people, so that there is a time when every child gets his or her khata open, when every mother gets her pension on time, when every citizen gets their savings bank certificates and their accounts safely and properly maintained. And every single citizen gets their letters and parcels, something that the Karnataka Circle has done tremendously. 200 crore mail and parcels are delivered every year, out of which 30% are done in this state. Immaculate. This circle stands out as a beacon for the rest of the country. So carry on the good work and know this. I am not standing behind you. I am standing shoulder to shoulder with you. And we will make it happen. With those words, thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.